My name is Heather Manson and I am Director of Fundraising at the Prince and Princess of Wales Hospice in Glasgow. We are a palliative care facility and we look after patients and families in and around the Glasgow area. Our vision for the future, we've actually just moved from our former home on Carrollton Place, and with the support of the people of Glasgow and the generosity of Scots further afield, we have just completed a £21 million capital appeal, and we have moved our home to the east side of Bellahouston Park and delivered a 21st century palliative care facility for the people of Glasgow. So our vision for the future is to enhance many of the existing services that the hospice offers, but also we have recently lowered our age limit to age 15, and we want to provide age appropriate care in an age appropriate environment to transition younger adults from children's hospice settings over to adult care, and that's a recognised gap currently in Scotland. It's been in a number of ways. Ultimately financial support to the hospice, particularly in the building of the new hospice, but also through my colleague Jackie and her relationship with Christine specifically. We have been building our fundraising network in London, and that's resulted in us running an established calendar of events in support of the hospice, and Christine and Jackie have worked quite closely together, even identifying such places as venues that would give opportunity to either network or fundraise, entertainment, that type of thing, but also, as I mentioned, monetary donations that have come along through those relationships as well, which has been absolutely fantastic. Well, SBN has been quite instrumental. Whilst we were raising that 21 million to deliver the new hospice, we realised that Glasgow, as fantastic as it is, and we punch well above our weight, to rise to that challenge we had to look at passionate Scots further afield with a connection to the city. And SBN were instrumental in helping us widening that sort of network of opportunity, that network of passionate Scots elsewhere, and particularly with our London network at the early stages when we were just establishing that fundraising team, and thankfully it's gone on to be a great success for us. But the business network were very much instrumental in facilitating introductions to individuals and organisations that certainly came forward and helped the hospice. I strongly believe that, and I think that we've experienced that firsthand through the work of the hospice and specifically our capital appeal. The warmth was absolutely fantastic. Well, in my experience through the brick by brick appeal for the hospice, I sort of mentioned that we realised that Glasgow does particularly well, but we wanted to go further afield. And what I felt through my learning through the passionate Scots elsewhere in the world, and particularly through SBN, was that it was a channel back to the city. It gave people an opportunity to give something back to the city that brought them up, that educated them and sent them successfully on their way. And what we were able to identify through the networking that we had with the diaspora that you mentioned was that many of these families, these individuals, still had a connection back to Glasgow, and we were able to identify through the hospice and the care that we provide that many of these family members, whilst they're living and working elsewhere in the world, had family members here in the city, and the hospice had helped those families at the most difficult of times. I mean, we raised, just through that particular appeal, we raised over £500,000 so far from London and probably about £250,000 in New York. And that's just, that's just sharing the passion for what the hospice does. I suppose it brings, in my experience, and the particular one I attended was one of your London events, it gives an opportunity for a Scottish network to come together in a new environment, in a new space, in a new city. And I found the format of the evening very, very relaxed, quite informal, and it gave a huge opportunity to speak to a wide range of individuals and organisations, which is exactly what you look for in a networking opportunity. I suppose the passion that Scots have, or that remain to have for Scotland, regardless of where in the world they are, there's still that passion and that connection with Scotland specifically. I think that's what I see, and sometimes that passion becomes stronger when they're out the country than they ever were when they were in the country.